Okay, welcome the Closers University. Awesome. I'll just give it a few seconds till we go live. Just let me know in the comments, guys, that you guys can see my screen, please. Mhm. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Well, if you guys are new over here, this bold brown guy, as you can see from the screen, is Jabran Khan, born and raised from Small Heath, Birmingham. You know, it's quite funny actually. I've always heard about the Peaky Blinders, but I never really knew how famous they were until I started watching the Netflix show. And I've only just recently started watching the Netflix show. But look, for those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Jabran, and you guys are going to be learning a lot about me. I'm someone that's got over 25 years of experience, or actually more than that now, in sales. I've been in the remote high ticket sales space for a minute, made thousands, earned tens of thousands of dollars a month back to back for the last 5+ years. I've helped thousands of others break into the high ticket sales remit and earn tens of thousands of dollars a month. Look, my job here is simple here today. Today and for the following classes that we're going to be having is to give you everything I know. I'm not going to be holding anything back. So this is pretty much, $5,000, $10,000 program all rolled into one. You're going to be getting everything I've learned, everything I know on this masterclass. I'm going to be going through everything. And if you haven't gathered already, this accent is pretty unique. It's from Small Heath, Birmingham, so you're going to have to just put up with the accent. But more importantly, more than the accent, guys, you're going to be learning everything on what I did to break into the industry. Now, I was a brand new person to the high tickets sales arena in 2020. And I came in with no experience, remote closing or anything. So if someone like me can do it, being from, an inner city in Birmingham, where most people didn't really give us a chance, I'm sure you guys can. And as for some of you that have been around in the high ticket sales space, you've seen how many of my students have gone on to really become closers, become setters, earn tens of thousands of dollars a month. Some of my students have now become coaches as well. How about that? But look, without further ado, I just want to give you like a bit of breakdown on like what this masterclass is going to be covering. On one of the days on the masterclass, I'm actually going to go deep dive into a live sales call and give you the real psychology behind my conversations, why I ask certain questions, how I was able to collect thousands of dollars every half an hour on sometimes on sales calls. You're going to learn what's high ticket closing, what is the actual process like, how does it work? The lead to call process. What happens for, when a lead comes in and you get a call, how is it all booked? Like, what do you do? I mean, look, the crazy thing is I've been paid for the last few years for just literally just talking to people. I'd wake up, I'd open up my laptop, my calls would already be booked on my calendar, and I'll just take Zoom calls. And I'd have 20 to 30-minute conversations in speaking to people that were interested in what I was talking about, what my company was selling. I wasn't going out to these people. These people were coming to me. They were informed and educated. And I was at times within 7 to 20 minutes, I used to make $2,000. Now, I'm not saying it can happen for all of you guys, but I'm going to give you literally everything that I've done in this industry. I'm gonna give you everything, the niches, which sectors to apply in, how I landed roles, where did I go to land roles, Who did I network with? I'm going to break through everything. And some of the things I'm going to be breaking with you guys are going to be breaking some of your limiting beliefs as well. I really just want you to look at this with full confidence and think to yourself, if this dyslexic brown guy, Asian guy from Small Heath in Birmingham can make multiple, oh my God, I've made tens of thousands of dollars a month, and I don't like really talking about myself. I like talking about my students because I've had students make north, and these students came from all walks of life. Whether they worked in retail, whether they were security guards, taxi drivers, call center operators, stay-at-home moms, I've helped these individuals brand new in the industry make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way through to $90,000 a month. Multiple of my students have made north of 50 to $90,000 a month as high ticket closers. I've had so many closers break 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month working with me. So if you're new over here, I'd love to hear your introduction. I'm going to be looking at the comments as well. In the comments, if you're new here, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We got to say this for the algorithm because look, my goal is to take this community to 50,000 plus people. That's my first milestone. And I remember, man, the crazy thing is, I remember setting a goal a couple of years ago because I was consistently doing, 30 to $50,000 a month. And, once you've earned over $20,000 a month, everything else is the same. Look, man, you've seen where I'm from. And I only needed, you only really need, a couple of grand to survive. Okay, if you're married and you got kids and whatever, okay, 4 to 5 thousand pounds. But after that, what the hell do you do with the money? And I'm someone that came from nothing, so I don't really need millions, of dollars and pounds and whatever. But I'm someone that's always pushing my limits, and I need to be working towards something really big to really get myself going because I don't like to be average. As you guys can see, I came from average, humble beginnings. So I remember this one time I was setting my goals. And I remember like, oh, I haven't made $100,000 a month. Let me just set that as my goal. And that was my goal. Like, it's crazy how I'm saying $100,000. I worked in the corporate world. And my first salary was £18,000 a year. And now I'm talking about 100,000, dollars a month. This was absurd to me. But anyways, I put the goal down. As I did, I visualized it and everything, and I was looking at it every single day, but it wasn't moving me. I don't know why it wasn't moving me. And then I remember just one day just adding a zero. I added a zero and it made it a million. I didn't even know what it meant by adding a zero. But the moment I added a zero, it said $1 million a month. And I swear to God, I like went back and I was like, freaking, had never even earned $1 million in my whole lifetime. I was like, what? Make $1 million a month? And it was at this point, I was like, the fact I'm questioning how to do it and like I'm getting nervous about it, I was like, right, this is my goal, $1 million. And lo and behold, man, I don't know after how long of that, when I set that goal, I actually freaking came really close to hitting it as well, and I earned several $100,000 pounds in a month. But this is what I'm saying to you, man. You have to set big goals. And now look, one of my goals live on this stream again, where I'm getting goosebumps for, is I want 50,000 members in the Closers University that I've personally coached and mentored into the space and make tens of thousands of dollars a month. That's my dream for you guys. So look, without further ado, like there's so many things on this masterclass and every day is going to be different. I'm going to go through different things on every single day. How to land the role. Once you've landed the role, how to perform in the role. And from performing in the role, going through breaking down the whole process, the sales process. We're going to be reviewing sales calls as well, and all sorts. But anyways, without further ado, let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so who am I? Who is this guy? Let's see if anyone could spot me in that picture. That was at my high school. And, I'm someone that failed. Honestly, I don't know if there's some of you guys on this call over here right now, if there's some of you guys that have failed their way through the education system, I'm someone that literally failed his way throughout the entire education system. I don't even know how the hell I got through to school, and then like from school, I failed I was failing. They predicted my GCSEs to be, oh my God, man, no one gave me hope apart from my English literature teacher. Anyways, I pulled myself together in the last few months of school, just about past school, went on to college. I was someone that was identified as dyslexic. And guess what? Imagine being a dyslexic. Imagine being having ADHD and having all of these blah blah blah, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't accept these labels. Good job, no one told me at school like this is you and this is you've got this learning difficulty and you've got that learning difficulty. Because if they had told me this in school, I don't know, maybe I would have accepted that, you know what, I am slow and I don't get things and whatever. But luckily, in the 90s, there wasn't really that much support with this. And this wasn't even picked up by any of my teachers or whatever. It was picked up even after I'd gone through school, college, and university. It was only after getting 2 degrees. Yes, guys, this guy got 2 degrees. I have 2 degrees in psychology. I have a BA in psychology and I have a BSc in psychology. I have a postgrad in psychology. And if someone had told me that, you know what, I was dyslexic and I had learning difficulties, I probably would have accepted those labels, but I didn't. And it was a good job I found this out after university. But the downside was because this wasn't identified in education, I never got the relevant support. But this just goes to show it's good not knowing everything, because especially if you get negative labels as well, because sometimes these negative labels we accept them and they go over and over in our head and we can't get past them. But this was me, man. Oh my God, I was half the man I was over there. I was probably 60 kilos there. I'm 120 now. Um, Anyways, to the next slide. Okay, so my sales journey. My sales journey actually started off way before the age of 11. I was involved in sales with my dad. My dad used to buy and sell things from the auction. He'd get things in the auction during the week, and then on the Sunday, for those of you from the UK, you'd know you'd have the Sunday market. So he'd buy secondhand stuff during the week, and he would sell it on the weekend. And I love this. I was just like, what the hell? Like, dad's buying this because I used to see it. Dad would buy something for £2, £4, £5, and on the weekend he'd sell it for. And he was someone that was he wasn't someone that'd be like, even if the whatever he bought was valued higher, he'd only just look to make a couple of quid from it. It was like, look, it's better just not holding it and just selling it. And that was another thing. Look, a lot of the things that you guys are gonna see in me, within me, and everything that I've done, it's not me, man. I promise you, it's not me. I'm just a normal guy from Birmingham. But I have had countless people pour into me, through trainings, my mentors, my teachers, my coaches, my managers. My dad has been one of my biggest mentors. All of these guys have poured into me over the years, and I've just repeatedly listened to them. And I'm the result of all the people that's poured into me. You take all that away, I'm just a normal guy from Birmingham, man. I'm just like any other guy, but I just refuse to give up. But so I fell in love with sales from my dad. Age 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 years of age, I started selling things at school. I entered secondary school and I just used to get whatever and sell it in school. Sometimes we used to bring food into class and we would be eating and someone would want to buy it and I'll sell that to them. I'll send my phones to them. I'll send whatever I could get my hand on, I was selling. So my sales experience started there. And my first job was in a takeaway, believe it or not. And I was at the front desk and I used to work at the kitchen. And from there, I learned, just communicating with people. So at the age of 16, I got hired as a Christmas temp at WH Smith. This was just a temporary job, where I really came to know of my sales skills. And from there, I became the number one salesman in the company across the country, outdoing entire store sales at times. And I left there as one of the number one sellers in the company for, I think, 9 years straight. And I left there as a manager as well. Okay. And then, and the summer of 2004, I started door-to-door sales. I'm sure, man, a lot of people have probably the door-to-door sales. And again, thanks to, one of my neighbors, Roger, in Small Heath, who introduced me to, door-to-door sales, and we worked with him. And oh my God, that was when I first tasted, like earning hundreds of pounds in commission for a sale. And for me, I was just like, I have to be doing this. So I was someone that was pursuing his studies. So I was just they call it jack of all trades. I was Jabran of all trades. I was studying, I was working, and I was doing sports as well, playing cricket and boxing. We don't play boxing, but I was boxing. So here, whilst I was studying, at college. I worked in a wallpaper shop. And this is another place, where I really honed in on my skills because I met a guy called Majid. We met him through a gym in Olympia in back in where I live. I learned so much from this individual as well. Not only sales, but I learned the art of upselling clients. And this was at the age of 16. From there, obviously, I went on to become a holiday rep after university because obviously that's what graduates do. As you can see below, I'm living my best life. It was one of the best jobs ever, man. I got paid to literally be on holiday, but the pay wasn't good. I'm not gonna lie, the pay was rubbish. But here's something interesting. At the age of 16, I remember what this guy's a con. I'm a con. Why the hell am I not boxing? Then I saw more similarities. I was like, he's Pakistani, I'm Pakistani. And then when I found out his dad's name was Shah and my dad's name was Shah, I was like, oh my God, I need to start boxing. Maybe there's something here. And lo and behold, man, I boxed up to English, British, European level. I got medals, in English, British, European championships from 2008 to 2011. I boxed some of the best guys in the country. Um, Medals. I boxed a guy from Repton ABC, which was a very popular gym at the time. And I really believe this actually helped me with my sales skill as well. The discipline that I got in boxing really helped for my sales. Okay, previous. Okay, cool. And 2014 was when I got introduced in the world of network marketing, entrepreneurship, and personal development. I gave up everything and I just went all in and decided I was going to retire my dad. This was the moment in my life where I decided that, you know what? Because look, if you don't have a strong reason, they say you're only here for a season. And for me, my reason why was my dad. Like, there's you can buy clothes and cars and go on holidays and you can have all of these things, and that's all great, but that's about you. But when it's about somebody else, it brings out more in you and you want to do well and you want to do more and you want to go above and beyond the call of duty. And this was me, man. And I learned a lot, man. I climbed my way up to regional director in this company. My mentors are here. I was public speaking. I used to speak in front of thousands of people, at times. I used to speak to hundreds of people nearly every other day in events. There was that one time on the right hand side, I was speaking to like 14,000 people. Oh my God, that was so nerve wracking. But it was during these experiences where I blossomed as an individual. Because and sometimes some people see me and like Jabran, man, like how the hell were you able to do it? I'm showing you guys what I went through, and then like because some of you guys are probably thinking, why is he sharing all his backstory? Because some of you guys are probably growing through certain chapters in your life, and you're probably thinking like, when the heck is it going to happen for me? This was in 2014, guys, when I made the decision that, you know what, I need to retire my dad. And the first time in my life, I saw I saw so many people making £20,000 a month. And at first I was like, what the flip? There's me going for £18,000 a year salaries. And these people are making 20,000 plus a month. And I remember, man, I just wrote like for me, I just wanted to make 2 grand a month. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I only wanted to make 2 grand a month, but I came across Grant Cardone, the 10x formula. And if you know anything about the 10x formula, it's where Grant talks about whatever your goals are, you times them by 10 because it takes the same amount of energy to achieve a 10x goal as opposed to a normal goal. So I was like, right, no problem. This £2,000, I'm gonna make it into what does 2,000 times by 10? £20,000. I swear it blew my mind. I was like, Jabran, how the hell are you going to do that? And all these questions, I remember writing my goals down because as good students, you just follow what your mentors say. I remember writing it down, man. But I promise you, I didn't make sense to me. And I wasn't even confident in putting this, out there or whatever. But then I just said, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do it. I'm not going to deny to you, it took me about over a year to actually believe that I can do it. So, Mission Retire Dad started in 2014. It says 5 years ago there, but at the time, I remember writing this post, and this was in around about just before COVID. I responded to a post about making a bit of extra money from my spare time. This was, a job advert online in 2014. Little did I know this stranger was going to change the direction of my life forever. His name is Ismail Ordali from Birmingham. He put me in touch with people, and I look, there's going to be some people. Look, there's some people that I've put in touch with huge influencers, huge mentors. I've been able to help and put them, in touch with all these people. And this is what this individual done to me. He put me in touch with people that have helped me become the person I am today. Because as I told you, man, I am nothing without, first of all, God and my mom's prayers, but then also all the teachers and mentors that I had. These teachers made me realize there was more I needed to do with myself, for my family, for my community, and for everyone else. Like, look, I'm someone at 20 in 2014. I had no clue about money, marketing, sales, or business. But just like we learn things all the time, I was willing to let go of the excuses and learn what I needed to learn to get where I wanted to go. Just like you guys on this live over here right now, you're trying to learn something and become something, and go to that next level in your life. Learn from someone that's walked the walk that you want to walk the walk where you want to go, and you're becoming the students that you need to become in order to get to the levels that you want. And look, remember, time either promotes you or exposes you. And when I first started out, people mocked and laughed at me, man. I don't know how many of you guys, have people, mocking and laughing at you, trying to make something of yourself. And quite rightly so. You know, when they were mocking me, I was a joker, man. I had worked so hard on building a reputation of the joker. Literally just a couple of years on, and thousands of pounds later, you'd be surprised. Their comments were still negative, but slightly changed to, oh, but you're Jabran Khan. You just got lucky. And I'm telling you, man, if you just become a student of personal development, working on yourself and improving yourself daily, just like you're here on this, masterclass, trying to find something to just improve yourself. I promise you, you do this consistently, you'll see changes within a few months, and within a few years, you'll be unrecognizable. But the thing is, most people are not willing. Look, most people are not even willing to stay tuned on the masterclass. Most people are probably not even going to be tuned in to see the whole masterclass. I am giving everybody the source, the foundations, the clues, the insights, everything on what made me who I am today. Now, look, I'm not saying each and every one of you can do the same. But just imagine it did work out and you were able to donate more to your favorite charity. You were able to give your mom and dad, say, an extra £500 extra a month. You were able to help your partner go part-time, or even leave work, or take care of your kids, or take your kids to, their favorite restaurants, places out, holidays more often. Would it be worth investing a few hours every week for free to not only learn, grow, and develop, but increase the money you are currently making? Now, what do I mean when I say this? You could be in the UK and work USA hours. So you could do your 9 to 5 during the day, and then, you know what, come back home, wash up and everything, and get going from 7 p.m. Now, if you're working at 7 p.m., this could be 11 a.m. PST. And you could work 5, 6 hours to begin with. 7 hours, work past midnight. Do this for a few months. Put together maybe, I don't know, because you're not going to start off making $20,000 a month. Maybe you'll make two, three, four, five, six, seven, $8,000 a month. You add this up so it's enough to cover your expenses. Then you can go full time. Where was I? This is why I didn't give up because I wasn't doing it for myself. I was doing it for others, and this is why you shouldn't either. I'm promising you, man. I'm telling you, your time is coming. We have a great platform for everyone to learn, grow, and develop. This YouTube channel alone has helped thousands get started in high ticket sales and transform their income. My question to you is, why not you? So now it comes to the meat and balls, meat and potatoes of my story. Now, high ticket sales. How the hell did I get started in high ticket sales? It was COVID 2020. COVID happened, and I don't know if some of you guys know what furlough is. I was furloughed at home, and just like everyone else during lockdown, I was looking into all the online business opportunities that were out there just so I didn't come out the lockdown not having learned a new skill or having started an online business. Because I don't know if you guys saw, the quotes that were flying around during COVID, as in like, you come out of this lockdown without learning a new skill or starting a new business, you've bloody wasted. And I was like, I don't want to be a waste man. Let me learn something. And I remember at the time, man, I was like, we've got this time, so might as well just learn something. And it's a good job. I've always been a student. So there I was reviewing everything online. I was attempting pretty much everything. Becoming an online coach was a hot topic at the time. I didn't know what the hell do I, start to study. Then I was studying, where the hell do I start? Then I started studying online marketing. And that's when I came across an individual by the name of Dan Locke. Oh my God. When I came across Dan Locke, I remember seeing his webinar and his landing page where I saw his ad first. It popped up on a YouTube video. And the moment it was like high ticket sales, high ticket commissions, and people making 20, $30,000 a month. Because look, I know some of you guys are looking at this for the first time and thinking, how the flip are you guys making? Forget 50 and 70 and $100,000 a month. The heck are you even making $10,000 a month? Whereas I'm making, because look, when I was in the corporate world, I only made like maximum I made in a month, and that was only a couple of months, £3,500. Outside of that, it was like 2,000, 2,500, just under 3,000. So I understand when people look at this for the first time and they think to themselves, is this guy on crack? Are these people on crack? Like, how the hell are you going to make? Because I look, I don't get angry with these people because I thought the same. I was like, how on earth? But like with me, I was questioning it, but I wasn't being negative. I was like, how the hell? And I was like, Ya Allah, oh God, please. I pray this doesn't be a scam or whatever. Like, I hope this is real. I remember going through the whole sales page, then opting in for the webinar. At the time, it was a live webinar that was starting in like a couple of hours. And whilst I was waiting for the webinar to start, I was researching online, looking at other videos. I was like, oh my God, this actually looks real. Then when the webinar came after 2 hours, I'm going through the webinar and it was like a 3 or 4 hour webinar, man. It was long. And there, Dan Locke was breaking everything and he was showing all these case studies and people like as I'm going to show you guys as we go on through the masterclass as well. I'm going to show you real life people from Pakistan making 5, 10, 12, 13, 14,000 pounds a month. I'm talking about kids. I'm talking about stay-at-home moms making thousands of pounds living in Pakistan. I'm talking about kids from Africa, India, all over the world, from the UK, people from all walks of life making tens of thousands of pounds from this. When I was seeing all of this, I was like, I can't believe this. Where the hell has this been? And I swear I was having moments like, oh my God, Allah has answered my prayers. And look, from there, I saw the webinar, and as I'm going through the end of the webinar, I'm getting this feeling that there's a pitch coming, there's a pitch coming, there's a pitch coming, and then like he pitched, and then I was like, you know what? I was broke, I was beyond broke. If you guys don't even know, like I had three bank accounts. They were I wasn't broke, I was broken. They were all maxed out in the overdrafts. I owed all three banks debt. But anyways, I saw all of this and I was like, you know what? Even if it's £1,000, I'm gonna do it. And then my heart broke, man. My heart sank and it said there, and this is why the closest university got started as well, man. He wanted like I think 5 or 10,000 pounds. I can't in dollars, but it was over 1,000 pounds that I was ready to invest. And I was like, oh my God, man, what the hell am I gonna do? But then, for me, thank God, because I've been such an optimistic. I was like, you know what, Jabron, you don't have the money, but what do you have? You have the time. We're furloughed, we're in COVID, we're in lockdown, you can't go out, you've got the time. And I always heard the saying, like, knowledge is power. Knowledge. I was like, you know what? Let me just learn this because I knew, we're in the digital age, man. You can find all the answers to everything out there, like my YouTube channel right now. And this is why the Closest University got started. Some of you guys are probably watching this live masterclass and thinking, why the hell is this guy doing it for free? How the hell is he teaching these people? If you look at all my old videos, go and look at my first few lives that I started. There's people on there that I have coached for free that have gone on to become, household names in companies, making tens of thousands of pounds a month, have become sales coaches. These are my students from years ago that I trained and coached and developed for free because I was like, I don't want no one in my position because some people don't have my mindset, as in like looking at something and because you don't have the money, you just quit. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna remove all of that. And that's how the closest university got born. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna teach all of it. I'm gonna give all the information away for free on YouTube. Now, look, I'm not against people charging for their services or having coaching programs or whatever. But I was like, what about the poor ones, man? I wasn't poor. I was bloody poor, very poor. And like there's people, in all walks of life in different countries and not even different countries, like every around the whole world, there's people that are struggling that don't have money to invest in coaching or start this or start that or start a business. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make all this free, all this free. So, anyways, I landed on a sales call again because and look, no one taught me this. I just figured this out. I was like, look, there was a guy called Bastian Slot, and he was very big in the coaching space during 2020. And I remember getting on a sales call with him. And I got on a call with him, and then I got on a call with his closer. And I remember speaking to his closer, and one thing led to another. And I remember stopping him midway. He was trying to pitch me on things, and I was like, "Look, man, this isn't how you do it." And then before I knew it, I bloody started coaching him on the call, and I gave him so many tips that we kept in touch. And I helped him improve his coaching, his closing ability, and everything. And I remember him dropping me a message a few times, and he's like, "Jabran, I've closed this deal, I've closed that. Thank you so much. This worked, that worked." And I was like, well, I was getting so happy about it. And like for him to thank me, he actually helped me land a role. So my first role in high ticket closing came from me just going above and beyond and just helping someone without even wanting anything in return. How many of you guys actually go and do things for people not wanting anything in return? Look at me. I swear to God, I don't want anything in return for anyone on this masterclass here right now. I just want to help you guys. Man, look, I do it for the love of God. I do it for the love of Allah. And if I'm doing it to please him, he is the creator. He is the creator. He is above everyone. He owns all the wealth. If you think if I do it for him, he's not going to help and bless me. And that's why I do it, man. And he knows, as Muslims, we believe we're not judged by our actions, we're judged by our intentions. And I know what my intentions are behind when I'm coaching you guys. Most people don't understand it. Some people think I'm crazy, but I know what I'm doing, man. And like that, and one thing with me is my relationship with Allah, man. Like for me, what's got me through is my relationship with God. I would talk to God every single day. We have 5 prayers. I would complete all 5 prayers. I have been doing so from a very young age, but I only don't do the 5 only prayers. I do the additional things in between. I used to, wake up during midway through the night. It's called tahajjud. And I'd wake up and offer a voluntary prayer, and that was the time where you can, it says God comes down to the lowest of the heavens and he looks for who's awake so I can answer their prayers. I incorporated that. I used to do fasting, additional fasting. I used to do Monday and Thursday fasting. Guys, I am giving you the real sources on how I became what I became. Because some of you guys look at me and you're like, what the hell, man? How the hell has this guy done it? I'm telling you, this is how I've done it. And why did I used to get so much belief in what I was doing? Yeah, man, if you love what I'm saying right now, guys, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the comment section. Let me know where, what you're feeling. I'm watching the comment section as you're going. And look, guys, when you do watch this video on repeat, leave your takeaways on the video. Leave what you're learning on the video. I want to, like, look, let me tell you something. I have picked out people from my subscribers and from the comment section, and I've got them onto roles. There's so many people that are in the comment section right now that I'm currently working with. There's Sadia, there's Navfal, there's Hassan, there's who else is there? There's Rubab, there's Malika. These are the people that I'm currently with Kershaw as well. Like these people, I've never even met some of these people. You watch what I do with these guys. I'm putting out these names because I done this in 2023 and I pointed out people then. I worked with them then. And look at them now. You guys are going to see over the next few days as well, like some of the success stories. And that's what's really going to give you belief. But right now, I'm just giving you all. So look, this was my first offer. Oh my God, £2,000 direct deposit bang in my bank account before I'd even started the role. But look, some of these things that I'm telling you over here right now, I want you to really grasp and look at what I did with these business owners. How did I conversate with them? How did I communicate with these business owners? So look, this was the first time anyone in this space had initiated a conversation with me and paid me to work with them up front. £2,000. And he wanted to give me $2,000. I was like, nah, fam. I'm not taking, because I worked it out. I was like, $2,000, that's like about 1,700 £1,700. I was like, screw that. I'm in the UK. How about you? And you're in the UK as well. How about you pay me in pounds? He was like, he ummed and ahed and whatever. I was like, look, man, £2,000. He was like, all right, cool. I'll pay you £2,000. It so happened I didn't fully grasp the role. And look, some of you guys are going to make these blunders. I see some of you guys making these blunders right now where you're naive, you're new, and you just want to land a role. This is what happened with me. It so happened I didn't fully grasp the role. It was my first time. The guy's giving me £2,000. I'm over the moon. I'm like, I'll do whatever you want me to do. And it wasn't a setting role. It wasn't a closing role. It was more of an admin than a closing and setting role. He was ambitious, but had no idea about sales processes. He had no idea about sales. I had to create imagine this, going and setting for him. He's a brand new business. He used to charge a few clients a few £1,000s, and he was like, you know what, let me take this to the next level. Let me start a bloody coaching offer. So he wanted me to create a brand new Facebook account for him. He wasn't doing no paid ads or anything. It was all organic. A brand new Facebook account, brand new Facebook group. So I had to not only add people for him in his Facebook group, then I had to get those, in his Facebook. Then from his Facebook, I had to get him into a Facebook group. And then I had to nurture and work with them and sell to them. And I was like, bro, this is not how you do it. Okay, you build up your audience and then you bring them into the group. But he didn't understand all of this. And it was a losing battle because he didn't fully truly grasp you can't cold pitch people. You need to warm them up. And of course, 3 weeks later, he fired me. So, hey, here you go, man. Some of you guys are probably being fired from a job. I got fired at my first role. He fired me 3 weeks later. But now, something got under my skin, man. I was like, now I was more determined than ever. It was enough to give me belief because he had paid me £2,000, and I brought in like nearly 3,000 people within his world anyway. I'm surely he would have converted some of them if he had just carried on, giving them value and showing enough about himself. But this was enough for me, even though I got fired. But this was enough for me to say to me that, you know what? There's something in this industry, and I just need to figure it out, and I need to land the right role. Lol. But that was the thing. I still don't know how. I still didn't even know what the right role was. All I knew that this industry was making something. Then came my second offer. It was a French marketer. Now, I saw this opportunity crop up in a Facebook group. Some of you guys try finding me on Facebook right now. My Facebook got disabled in early 2024, which I'm still trying to get back. But if you guys want to follow me or whatever, it's Jabran Superkhan on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn as well. If you haven't subscribed to the Closers University YouTube channel, I don't know where the hell you've been. You're getting free knowledge just subscribe to the Closer University YouTube channel. You're going to get everything you need to go to the next level. So, anyways, this is how I landed the second role. Pay attention. I just DM'd the business owner with my intro, and of course, I also negotiated higher comms and pay in pounds as opposed to dollars. Like when I was first starting out, I was just like, nah, man, I don't want to earn in dollars. I want to earn in pounds because obviously the currency was higher. Long story short, I closed that many because it was a marketing offer, and I really love marketing, and I can really get behind marketing. I closed that many deals in my first week. He had to grow his outbound and fulfillment team by 20 plus people. By the third week, he couldn't handle the business I was bringing him and wanted to change up the offer. Once he changed up the offer, I wasn't a fan of it, and I was like, you know what, let's just part ways. And then we parted ways, and back to the drawing board I was. So now my second offer has gone up in the air as well, only after a few weeks. And there I was again, still looking for the dream to be fulfilled. Third offer, still not got the breakthrough. Some of you guys probably would have quit by now. I'm on the third offer right now, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So I got the business. This is look how I landed these roles, guys. Pay attention to how I landed these roles. Take screenshots or whatever. Go back to this and whatever. Look at how I landed the roles. I got the business owner's attention online and DM'd him my very attractive and out the box resume. I compiled on Instagram that I had compiled on Instagram, followed by a very well crafted cover letter that read like a story of who I am and my experiences. Now, look, I've always believed in standing out from the crowd. Look at what everybody else is doing, and you do the total opposite. And this is what I always teach. Look at what everybody else is doing. Because look, if you're going to do what everybody else is doing, you're going to get what everybody else is getting. And most people, they just don't have it figured out. They don't have the results that you're looking for. So for me, I was just like, I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to stand out from the crowd because the moment I stand out from the crowd, I'll get attention. If I get their attention, then they will pay attention to what I'm saying and maybe I'll land the role. So and look, this is proof. And I swear to God, the business owner loved everything and complimenting me, saying it was the best resume and application he had received. And he really enjoyed reading through all of it. He goes, usually I used to skip some of these. I read through all of it as opposed to other resumes. I'm going to show you. Hopefully, after when I've gone through all of this, I'm going to show you what resume and what one pager I used to land these roles, and you guys can just model it. Literally the exact same one in 2020 that I used. You guys can model it. So he offered me the role, but he was very strict in the way he wanted his calls conducted, though. And look, some of you guys are going to come across business owners that are just very stuck in their ways, and this is very difficult. And look, there's some business owners that I've worked with, man, that have, it's because of them that we haven't scaled to, the multi-millions a month that we could have. But the business owners that have let me do what I wanted to do, we have quickly gone to 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple 5 millions a month back to back to back because I was allowed to do what I wanted to do. Some people, they just can't step away from the business and be involved. Like I'm a sales pro, man. I've managed sales teams for nearly 20 years. I've managed salespeople. I've put together processes. I've been in the remote high ticket sales space since 2020. I've worked with the likes of Kevin David, Rudy Mauer, which I'm going to go through, Rabi Abuvala, Shakir Hussein, Matt Lepre, Ty Lopez. The list goes on and on and on that I've helped and worked with. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. But this guy, he offered me a role. He was very strict in the way he wanted the sales calls conducted and was the total opposite of the way I used to do sales, which was fine. Which, look, his way, my way was different. It's fine. I was coachable, but I tried to be anyway, but I still didn't like it. This was the first time I was being made aware. Now, this is in 2020. I'm coming across, Jeremy Minor and, how I need to stick to a script and, what a script was. I didn't even know what a script was up until here. That I had to stick to the script and I have to be emotion-based and pain-based and NPQ and BBC and JBQ. I was like, what the hell is all of this? I just talk to people, man. And I mean, it was just too much for me to take in. And even though I was getting results doing the way I was doing, I wasn't fully copying when he used to give me feedback. I wasn't following what he wanted me to do on the calls. And I just couldn't convince myself on his way of selling, man. I just couldn't. I've got my own unique way of selling. And so after a month, one, I was just let go. I was fired. I was fired. I was let go. I was fired. But look, he was nice. He was and like his name's Alex Neelan, amazing guy, and we still keep in touch. Crazy story as well. I followed up with him years after as well. I was like, Alex, remember me or whatever. Look, I'm over here right now and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. He was so happy for me, man. And he offered me a role to come back. I was like, nah, you're good. But look, this is how life comes full circle. Anyways, I was let go on positive terms, and honestly, he told me I had huge potential, which was very good of him. He told me I had huge potential, but just not on his offer and his way of doing sales, which was really good of him. Then came the fourth. Guys, we're on the fourth offer. I still haven't cracked the code yet. Some of you guys would have quit by now. Some of you guys are going through exactly what I'm telling you right now. And you're like, what the hell? Oh my God. Now you found someone to relate with. Because look, follow and stay put with me. This was a role I spotted on Upwork. You can find roles on Upwork. You can find roles on LinkedIn, Facebook groups, Instagram, Google, other job boards or whatever. Again, this guy was a new ambitious startup, but barely, with barely anything in place and just a bunch of dreams and fake promises. I did meet a legend here though, and his name was Gary Ewells, who told me that he had worked for a guy called Kevin David. Now, Kevin David was someone I had been watching on YouTube for years. He was huge in the Amazon FBA space. Me and Gary kept in touch, and are still in touch now. This guy was like the uncle I needed in high ticket sales, man. I swear, I love that guy. So for some of you guys now, like freaking now, I'm the uncle. I'm the uncle. Freaking, I got gray hairs as well now. I also met a couple others on the offer as well, Lloyd and Carlita, who were also messed around at the company, and we never really got started there. Imagine we're on this offer right now, and this is what, guys, I'm sharing this with you. There's a reason why I'm sharing everything here with you, is because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes I did or have these. Some of you guys are probably experiencing some of these things and I'm like, what the hell? We were literally onboarding for 5 weeks. We were studying the offer, we were doing daily trainings, but there just was no sign of things moving forward until like by week 6 we all finally gave up there. And because it was just never going anywhere, it was like, screw this, man, we need to get elsewhere. 6 weeks we were there training. At this point, as you can imagine, all the thoughts are running wild. Have I made the right decision? Is this industry what they even bloody say it is? Can it really happen for someone like me? I swear, all the shitty thoughts were going through my head. Trust me, every shitty thought that you're probably going through right now, I went through it all in my head. But I had been in the online space for a minute, man, and I knew that great things don't come easy. I was a student of personal development, entrepreneurship. I knew the road to success is not an easy one and that I must march on. So I was just like, next, I need to go, I need to move on. And marching on, I went. I continued building my network of other closers, of other setters. Some of you guys right now in the comments, I've told you guys to optimize your YouTube profiles, connect with one another. Connect with one another in the Closers University. There's a Closers University masterclass group that we've just created. There's nearly 200 people in there that we just for this masterclass that we've got on there. But look at the crazy thing, man. So many. Anyways, I'm not even going to go into that. But there's look, I networked. I continued on networking with closers, setters, recruiters, and leaders within the space. I didn't give up. I just kept going because look, sometimes when one door doesn't open, you go to another door. If that door doesn't open, you go to another door until someone does open. It's like knocking the doors on a door-to-door job. If you just knock one, and it's the numbers game, I just carried on knocking, knocking, knocking. Eventually, someone was gonna open. And lo and behold, the fifth offer, guys, the fifth offer, oh my God, the Kevin David offer. This was the offer that I never even in my wildest dreams imagined I was going to be working with someone that I was looking up to for years. I mean, before 2014, Kevin was all over YouTube. And this was my fanboy moment, man. I was like, my fanboy moment had arrived. I had been back and forth with Kevin David on Instagram for months. Some of you guys message influencers, you don't get a response, or like you're like, oh, he's not responding or whatever. But like there's so many ways around this as well. And I'll just pause over here. Some of you guys are saying, and I know some people watching this masterclass will be thinking, oh, well, you can't randomly just message anyone right now because your messages go into the other inbox. You're right. Let me give you a tip on how to get these messages into the other messages. So, you know, when influencers post Instagram posts or whatever, and they've got like many chats and many bots and whatever activated in their inbox, how about, and like sometimes in the comments in the comment section or the bio, it says comment the word or DM the word or comment the word scale or starting or sales or whatever. When you do that, automatically their bot messages you. Now your messages are not in the other inbox anymore, it's in the main inbox. So now that you've opened up the channel of communication, guess what? Because they've done that message to you, you now can go back and forth with messages. Don't bombard them. There's skills that you need to have in place before you even message them. There's a framework that you need to embody before you even message them. There's optimizing of your profiles that you need to do before you message them, because you only get one shot. And remember, your social profile is your social billboard. So, anyways, I had been back and forth with Kevin David. That was just a little short snippet that I wanted to add in, because some people I know they're going to be like, oh, but no one accepts your messages on Instagram and you go into the these and whatever. Look, those are all excuses. I'm showing you what's going to work right now. So I had been back and forth with Kevin on Instagram, back and forth. He had given me an email to contact, but nobody was responding to me. I got the email and I was sending my resume after resume after resume. Nobody was getting back to me. And most closers would have thought, you know what? Oh, maybe they don't want to hire me or whatever. But because I hadn't got an answer, how you do anything is how you do everything. I was going to show him what I'm willing to do to land this role so he can see if this guy is doing this to land the role. Imagine what he's going to be in my job, in his role, and what he's going to do. So at first, I did at first think I didn't make the cut, but I was like, because I haven't got a response, I'm just gonna keep on applying. I'm just gonna keep on messaging Kevin every now and again, reminding him that nobody has got in touch with me. I was like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They tell me to piss off. I was like, no worries. At least I can't, I have the answer. Some like I wanted the answer. Eventually, I got the attention of the hiring manager. Bloody hell, that was after ages. But here's where it gets interesting. This guy also complimented me of my application efforts and the way I introduced myself on my one pager and intro video. This intro video and one pager, I swear, most people don't even use right now, but I'm telling you, it's better than the resumes and CVs or like the shitty, one pages or videos that you guys send. I swear, copy mine, stand out from the crowd. You'll see the attention you get. And so look, now I land the role. I'm over the moon. But guess what now? And I was getting flashbacks of the other offer, but I'm not going to lie to you. I was on hold. And because Kevin had a team of like over 60, 70 people at a time, and these were experienced closers, students of Jordan Belfort, Dan Locke, Jeremy Minor, Grant Cardone, all these huge influencers, Tony Robb, all of these guys had been trained by all of these guys. And then there was me, this is brown guy. Like I had no accolades. I was brand new in the industry. I was on hold for weeks. I remember Kevin used to have this training cohort of like 30, 40, 50, 60 people at a time, where like, they'd be training them for weeks, and whoever were the lowest performers on the live team, they'll get put into training, and the top performers of training will go on to the offer. So I was there for weeks. People from all over the world were there, but I didn't care. Like I was there with people that couldn't even barely string a sentence together, let alone to close any deals. I didn't care, man. I'm working for Kevin David, and I was learning valuable sales stuff. And I was like, because I knew, man, before I earn, you need to learn. And because I was learning from one of the best, I was working with one of the best, and they had like a huge sales program. I was like, look, I'm learning here. That's why I say to you, man, some of you guys don't even understand this philosophy. This is why you need to, really get to grips of learning, because if you learn, eventually you take away the L, and what do you have left? Earn. So until one day, I got the call up. Oh my God, I was so happy that day. I got a call up and they put me on the calendar. And I didn't care, but like they put me on the calendar for a $1,000 offer. That wasn't even high ticket, but I was like, I don't care. Let me prove to them. Let me just let me just open the door, get my foot in the door. Let me show them how great I am. Because this is what I believe of myself. I'm like, I'm one of the best. And like everybody should believe that, they are the best in what they do. I was like, just give me that opportunity, man. Just give me the opportunity. I came on the lowest ticket program, which was $1,000, but I was quickly identified as someone that can sell. Once Kevin saw me live on a training, I got promoted to the 5K and 10K offers. And here was where I closed a few deals and was ranking eighth around about 40 plus closes. This was around June 2021. Then came August 2021. Kevin makes a huge announcement. At this point now, I've worked there for a couple of months. I've made about 2.5, 3,000, 2.5, 3,000 pounds a month. It's not life-changing money, but it was still good money. I was replacing my income. Kevin announces a new program, an offer, and asks me to lead the sales team there because he knew I'd been a manager before. And I was like, oh my God, I could not do this. As much as I look up to you, bro, like I just don't want to be manager. I was just tired, man. And I politely declined as I had just had enough of managing people. I had been a leader for nearly 15 years and I was just coming off a head of year position at a school. Some of you guys don't even know. I was one of the senior members of education facilities, schools, head of year, senior leadership team for many years. So I just around COVID, I was coming off a head of year position at a school, and not forgetting, I had been leading and managing direct sales reps in my previous roles and network marketing company. I was literally maxed out, man. I just didn't want to manage anyone or whatever. I just wanted to close. I just wanted to close and focus on closing because I saw so many people making so much money from closing. I was like, you know what? Let me just close. And look, obviously, Kevin obviously didn't like it because at the time his sales manager had left. So I was back of the line again, but that's okay. They put me on the offer, and I was, even though I was back of the line again, but me, I'm someone that thrives of being the underdog. Some of you guys are told like, you know what, you can't do it, or you're not given the chance, or you get put on an offer, but you're like you have to make outbound dials, or you have to speak to people that are not qualified, or whatever it is. That's okay, man. Imagine you just work and you just get something going from that. Imagine when they see that, you don't make excuses. You go and get the results. When they see that, doors are going to open for you. So they announced an incentive that caught my attention. And I was like, oh my God, this is music to my ears. Because I'll be honest, why I was just average on the other offers that we were closing on the 5 and 10K offers. I don't know. For me, I was just like, it's only 5K, it's only 10K, and I'm only making 10%. And I wasn't really inspired by just making 10%. Now, when they announce you can make 20% per sale, but if you finish number one on the team, now this team was over like 20 plus people. But I was like, that's all I need to hear. If I can make 20% on deals, and look, when I say to you, like for me, I didn't care who was on there. I was like, I'm going for 20% because I was looking at it like this. If I didn't make that extra 10%, I was practically throwing away 10% of income every month. So I was just locked into making 20%. How many of you guys have this vision and have this philosophy? Like, because look, I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys have been in the high ticket sales space for a minute, and if you're not making a minimum of 5, 10, $15,000 a month, minimum on the low end, you are throwing away that much money every single month. Because even the average people can do that. So clearly you're doing something wrong. Get into the Closers University and action what I'm telling you. Think like I think and watch where you go. Imagine now he's offered me 20. He said, look, he said it to everybody. There's about 30 of us, about 40 of us, but not everyone wanted to come on here because he had other offers that were, like 20K, 40K, 60K, 80K, 100K, 120K. Most closers wanted to close on there. But I was like, hang on a minute. I can make 20% over here. And I was like, okay, what's the deal size and whatever? Now, look, I had no choice. I had to work here. But I was like, okay, look, I'm inspired by 20%. So here, I start the offer. I take a couple of the boys under my belt as they were also from the UK. Usman, Shamil, and Hisham, the first guys that actually started coaching in the space. Now, look, I'm someone, I don't like winning on my own. As you guys have probably realized from, being in the Closers University, I like it when my students and my peers and my friends and people within the industry are winning with me. Winning on your own is bullshit, man. I don't like it. And the first month, we crushed it that month. But this was the month. You remember that poster that you saw of the 20,000, pounds a month? My dream of making 20,000 pounds. September 2021, man, was the month my years long, 7 years long dream of making 20,000 pounds a month was going to come true. I only looked at being number one. Second place was like first loser for me. If I didn't make 20% commission, I was throwing away 10% commissions. And that's the way I just looked at it. I didn't focus too much on what everyone else was doing or what I had to be. I simply decided to go all in. I put away everything. I put aside everything. I told my wife, I'm going all in. Listen, after 90 days, I'll get you whatever you want to get. Let me just concentrate on this. I can probably change our life. She was like, what the hell is this guy talking about, man? Obviously, because I was freaking joker, man. Who's going to believe me? Everyone's just listening to my crap for years. But I was like, I don't care. My confidence and my belief was in Allah. I was going to work the hardest on myself. I was like, I'm going to work the hardest on myself, my craft I ever have. And this was it. I had made the decision. This was the moment. This is the moment I've been waiting. I've been praying. I've been working for all these years. Look, the offer, it wasn't too high. It was ranging between $2,000 and eventually moves up to five. So the first few months, the offer was only 2,000 and 5,000. I don't even think it was 5,000 actually. It was 2,000 and 4,000. That's an error. The first few months, the offer was 2 and 4K. As we was trying to see how the market would respond, so we didn't increase the price. The month comes to an end, and of course, your boy was going to come out on top. This was what I had been dreaming of every day since 2014. December 2014 was when I got the vision, guys. Look at the dates. It was December 2014 when I got introduced in the world of network marketing and the thought of making £20,000 online a month. Look at the date right now, 2021, 7 years after the dream, 7 years of grinding, of people saying no to me, people laughing at me. I swear to God, people used to laugh at me, joke about me at weddings, everywhere. People used to laugh about me, laugh at me. For 7 years, I ignored out all the hate. And I ignored most of my friends as well because they were all just taking the pick out of me. And then there you go, man. September 2021. This is literally, look, you guys can see, damn, everybody's there. All the people that were on the team in that month, like 28 people. Some of the names are recognizable on over there. And look, here's the crazy thing. Usman, Shamil, and Hisham, all three, look at that. The number 2, number 3, and number 4 were trained by yours truly. This is where I realized that, oh, Jabran, you have something. But look, I collected $124,000 plus in 1 month. I conducted 51 sales calls. I closed 21 of the 51. I ranked number 1 out of 29 people. And bam, I collected that 20% commission. For me, this was like, oh my God, man. It was life-changing for me, man. It was life-changing. Here's another stat, actually. Look, booked. This is one of her name was Lorena. She used to give us our data. So in September 2021, I had booked 145 calls were booked on my calendar. We never had no setters there. But only 51 out of those 145 calls showed up on my calendar because this was literally a purely cold lead. They literally just saw a Facebook ad and they literally just booked a call. They saw the VSL, they booked a call and they landed on my calendar. And then I would do the setting and like engaging and everything, and then they'd land on my Zoom call. Out of this 145 calls, 51 showed, and out of the 51 that showed, 21 out of those 51 I closed in that month. Some of them I closed the following month. October 2021. This is what I don't want you guys to do, man. And I've done a lot of this, man. Some of these things that I'm sharing with you, I don't want you to copy. October 2021, I got too excited and I went on a 6-week vacation to Pakistan. I came back to work on the last week before we broke up for Christmas. I was looking at the leaderboard and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm losing 10% this month. The same thing. damn, if I don't make 20% comms, I'd be throwing away 10%. And I hadn't, like, if the normal person would look at this and be like, well, there's only 1 week left, not even 1 week, there's less than a week till the end of the month. It was looking tight for me as everyone else had worked the whole entire month. Look at this, guys. The whole team had worked the whole month before me. And I was coming off a 6 week layoff. I hadn't taken no sales calls, so I was rusty as well. I hadn't taken a sales call in 6+ weeks. And these guys had already put in 3+ weeks of work ahead of me. They had 3 weeks of results. I swear to God, I'm not kidding you over here. You're going to see everything, the whole proof as well. And people can cross-check this for me as well. They worked for 3.5 weeks plus. I'm coming right in the end of the week. And coming number one on the leaderboard was looking very slim. But I didn't focus on others. That's why I say to you, man, don't focus on others. And nor should you focus and control what's in your control. I compare myself to no man or woman. I am the can man. You say this to yourself as well. You are the can man. I am the can man. So the month ended there, and there were some upset faces. I'm not going to lie to you. And one person was very upset in particular. The poor guy that had sat comfortable on that number one spot thinking, yeah, boy, I am the king. But he didn't know the king was away. And he for sure has the number one spot. He just thought, you know what, I'm the king. And for sure, like it's the last week of the month, I've sure, like for sure, he's got the 20% commissions. He's number one, and there's no way. But this is the mistake they make. They underestimate the con, man. They underestimate me. There's no way Jabran was going to do more than what he had done in a month in a matter of 4 or 5 days. You know, they were like, no way is he going to be able to do what we've done in 3.5 weeks. He's going to do in 4 or 5 days. But boy, were they wrong. Because here's the December results. And look at where your boy is, boy. Within 4 days, I closed 6 deals that came to 41,000. Look at these guys. These guys worked a whole month. They bloody worked a whole month. And within 4 days, bam, look at the results that I got. I came number one, bam, picked up that paycheck. Whilst everyone during that time made excuses that it was Christmas and nobody has money, I ignored all the noise. This is in Christmas times, guys. In Christmas time, where people are like, oh, people don't have money, they're doing Christmas shopping or whatever. This was a B2C offer. I blocked out all the noise and all the distraction. I just went to work and believed in the offer that I was selling. Oh, the final month. This is a Google Doc with all the months and everything and whatever. Every month I was outproducing everybody. I swear to God, every month I worked on this offer, I outproduced everybody. At times, my cash collected was more than the top few guys combined. So imagine I'm number one and I've collected, not bragging. I swear I'm not bragging, just stating the facts. There were months where I would generate more cash collected north of $250,000 in a single month. In a single month on a 4K, it moved up to 9K, 4K and 9K offer. And then the other guys on the other offers were in the same company. I was generating more revenue than people that were selling the 15K to 120K offer. There was 15K offers, there was 20K offers, there was 30K, 40K, 50K, because there were so many of those offers. I was generating more revenue with my small low ticket offers that nobody wanted to close. I was generating more revenue than they were selling the high ticket offers. That's why, even up until this day, you message Kevin David and you ask him about Jabran Khan, he'll tell you is the best. He'll tell you himself. He said it to me and he said it to others. He was hands down the best B2C closer he's ever worked with. And alhamdulillah, all thanks to Allah and my mom's prayers and my mentors and coaches and teachers. There's a few guys I have to mention though that taught me loads there. And the first guy, look, the man, the myth, the freaking legend, Amir Patel. This guy, man, I love that guy. If you see him now, he looks like $1 billion now. But back then, he was just an ordinary kid from London, UK, crushing it with Kevin. Good job. He took time off when I came on, but his sales calls were still there. but it was his sales calls that I studied that gave me confidence. This is game tape, man. Some of you guys have this in your offers and you're not bloody watching it. Go grab the top performers, go into the Closers University, go into the playlist. And I've got my sales calls, which I'm going to be breaking down on one of the days on the masterclass. And I'm going to talk to you through how and what I did and, on my calls. So by studying his sales calls gave me so much confidence. I was like, if he's from the UK and he's crushing it, and with me, with all my experience, I have to smash it. I had more experience than him. I was like, if he's crushing it, I'm going to crush it. Look, another person was Joey. He was much younger than me. He was also the same. He was also the manager there for, the couple of months that I was there. He was young, but boy, was he a bundle of knowledge, man. Joey, big up to Joey as well. Some of you guys probably know him. He works with Amir as well. Very, very good guy and very knowledgeable guy as well. Last but not least, my boy Joel Elstar. Joel, we both started at roughly the same time. He was on a totally different offer to me. But we often every day, literally spoke to each other every day, pushed each other. Awesome guy. I learned a lot from him as well. I'm sure he learned a few things from me as well. I used to do the total opposite. We were total opposite closers, absolutely. But he could just figure out. I was like, how the hell is this guy doing what he's doing? Because he'd turn up so professional to his calls, and then be in a baseball cap, in my bloody basketball vest, and I'll just be running the show. Joel, if you guys don't know, I'd definitely reach out and connect with him as well. He has an amazing community. I'm sure he does some sort of coaching now as well. I definitely recommend you guys jumping in that community and seeing what is about yourself, even for a month. He now runs a staffing agency. We should definitely check out. It's called Nomadic Closer. No, Joel's not paying me to give him a shout out. This is just genuine recommendation, guys. I finished working there as VP of sales because obviously the management left and whatever. I became the VP of sales. Imagine this: I'm VP of sales, but I'm a legend, man. I was literally leading from the front. I was not only managing all the offers as VP of sales, I was also closing full time. And guess what? I was still number one closer. Alhamdulillah. As they say, this was sad, man. All good things eventually come to an end. Kevin, man, because he had so many offers and a few of the other offers that he worked on, he made some bad hires. His other businesses were suffering, and due to some bad hires, and some of these guys, they done him over, man. And like they whatever they did, but he faced some legal issues because of them, and like it meant that all his operations had to come to an halt because of other idiots. And all the offers came to a halt, and lo and behold, as they say, all good things come to an end. Back to the drawing board, I was back to applying for roles, jobless once again. Lol. But I didn't lose faith, even though I'm just getting tired, like talking to you over here right now and telling you about this journey because I'm living through it right now. Some of you guys probably would have quit by now. Let's face it. But I didn't lose faith or get upset with God's plans because I knew, man, Allah has got my back. I'm doing everything that Allah wants me to do. I'm doing the charity work. I'm doing things with great intentions. Of course, it's going to work out. And then came Rudy Mauer, September 2022. Now, this is the guy Rudy Red. This was before he actually blew up online. Actually, no, this was in the midst of where he was blowing up online as well. He was, massive at the time. I landed a position at Mauer Capital, but I arranged for a number of the guys from my previous offer to come over, and in return, I would manage them also. How did I land this role, guys? What did I do? I followed him on Instagram. I connected with him. I dropped him a message, and I'll show you the messages on like the other masterclasses as well. Because I'm gonna be showing you guys how to land these roles, how to get ready for the roles, how to land the roles, but then also how to freaking make money in those roles as well. I'm gonna be going through everything for you guys, so you have everything it takes to win. So I cracked a deal with him because look, man, because I was the VP of sales there. A lot of the guys looked up to me and they were like, "Oh, Jabran, what the hell do we do now? Like the offer's come to an hold." So I felt like it's my own responsibility and my own obligation to help them guys as well. As I told you, man, I don't like winning on my own. I don't like winning on my own, and I was like, I can't go and make money if my people are not making money, and they're not making money. So what did I do? I said to Rudy, "Look, like I'm a VP of sales. I've done this. I've done that." I will bring over some of my top guys from the other offer and I would manage them as well. And I would train them and develop them on your offer. As soon, guys, check this. This wasn't an easy offer, mate. Let me just tell you, so many people came on this offer. So many, like, no offense, man. So many of the guys that claim like this, some sales coaches and sales experts and closers and whatever. I swear to God, they came onto Mao Capital because I did massive recruitment sprees for Mao Capital as well. So many of them came and didn't even last 4, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. They struggled on this offer because this wasn't your normal inbound offer. I'll tell you. But here, me, your boy, and I swear, I'm telling you, everything I'm sharing with you over here is facts. I hit number 1 on the leaderboard in my first week. Imagine, first week, I cash collected over $70,000 in my first week. And I contracted just shy of 250,000 in my first 10 days. Imagine I contracted over 250,000 in my first 10 days, first month there, but I had a holiday already planned as per my agreement with my wife. If she lets me work with no distractions, I would give her whatever she wanted every 90 days. And it so happened she requested an all-inclusive, very expensive Rixos holiday in Turkey, which was very expensive, but alhamdulillah, it was only a couple of deals and it would pay off the holiday. And this is the beauty though, guys. You guys can do things like this as a matter of if you do a few sales calls, bam, you've got the money, you could do whatever you want. Maybe you need to put a deposit down for a house, work for a solid month, get that $20,000, $10,000, work for a couple of months. Okay, maybe it's going to take you a few months like me to ramp up. But then once you're in there, this is the power of the high ticket sales industry, which most of you, a lot of you don't even know and can see. And this is why for the first session, guys, I'm sharing the behind the scenes stories. What has made Jabran Jabran? So I was away for 3 weeks upon joining, but the 10 days or so that I done was enough to show them what I was about. Because imagine you just start a role and then within like 2 weeks, you go away for 3 weeks. They're gonna be like, get the hell out of here. But because I shined in those first 10 or so days, they knew I was a solid closer. But this, I must say, was, as I told you as well, very hard offer. An offer that majority of closers I knew struggled here. So many people came and went as this was just wasn't your normal qualified sales call. This, imagine this, this was an onboarding call for what they had previously purchased. They previously purchased a $97 product for ads or funnels or whatever, and they were coming on my call to get this product. So, and it was my job to not only onboard them, but analyze their business, get to know them, spot the gaps in their business that we could fulfill as a company. And then I was to upsell them on a 5K to 50K offer. But I was up for the challenge. This was rock solid. It was solid. All the solid. A lot of the people, all the closers that I bought from Kevin Davies were all struggling here. All the people that had been coming and going, there was like people coming and going like 20 or so a week. But I was up for the challenge, man, because for so long, for me, I was number 1 in the previous company, and like, I was just like, I needed a challenge. And I saw so many sales reps come and go here, but I saw this as an opportunity to prove to myself, not to others, prove to myself as to why I saw myself as number 1. This was an upsell tripwire offer, $97 front end offer to upsell packages ranging from 5K to 50K. And eventually they introduced a 100K one too, which has a crazy story too. Oh my God. I remember, I'll tell you this afterwards. The 100K, remind me about the 100K offer, how I closed a 100K deal without even taking a sales call. Imagine that 100K deal without even taking a sales call. Actually, no, I did take a sales call, but it was through a follow up. So, anyways, I was here for just under a year, but I traveled a lot in 2022 and 2023. So pay here was not that consistent. Although I averaged, if you average all the months out and you add all the money and divide it by the months, it was around about £10,000 a month that I had earned. But as well as that, by the end of it, I had built up a reoccurring income of $9,000 a month from my pay from monthly clients. The pay monthly clients, $9,000 that I'd racked it up to. So even if I took time off, I was gonna get paid that $9,000 no matter what. Imagine that. I was back for about 2 months. So when I came back from holiday or whatever, I was back for 2 months, banged out 2 months, but then I took another 6 weeks off again. This is where I messed up, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was off for 6 months, 6 weeks again to climb Kilimanjaro. Again, something that I'd already committed to because I was climbing that for charity. I had committed to it, and it was one of the biggest mountains in the world. And I was traveling there as well. So I know, man, it was terrible of me, but it was for charity as well. So I could have. I couldn't have said no because I had raised money for it and I had to go. I had to go climb it. Then when I came back from Kilimanjaro, I closed for a few more months, and then I had another holiday booked. Oh my God. Some of you guys are looking over here like, no wonder you're freaking, oh my God. But I had to take my mom and dad for the longest ever break to Pakistan. And it was there. I'm sorry, man. Rudy, I'm sorry, bro. But then again, I still had $9,000 a month that I was meant to be getting paid for as well. I was just let go. I was let go, and because I couldn't sort out, like what I was meant to be doing was when I got to Pakistan, I was meant to set up, but I didn't know, man. The village was terrible for Wi-Fi because I was living in the village at the time, and I couldn't sort out Wi-Fi. I couldn't sort out electric because the electric just go and whatever. I was looking into solar panels and looking into great Wi-Fi. Didn't get that done in time. Couldn't work in the village anyway. Still can't work in the village up until now as well because it's terrible electric and Wi-Fi. I was let go from Mao Capital. Yeah, that's another fact. I was let go. Oh, here. And I'm going to wrap these up now as well, guys. 2023 was an Airbnb offer. I was onboarded with a client who we thought was very respected and successful, who held a huge name online and had very every single ClickFunnels award. Like some of you guys are probably going to experience this as well. Like you see all the social proof and everything, and I was like, this guy is the man. He had every single $100 million award, 150 million, whatever it was. But this offer only lasted 3 weeks. Well, at least me anyway, because I left, man, and a couple of the guys I brought on left with me because I was hired there to take care of all the sales and operations, and we did. We closed just shy of $500,000 on a brand new offer in a matter of weeks. But we found out there was fulfillment issues, man, and this founder simply didn't give a shit about fulfillment. He didn't allow us to fix the issues, so I brought a halt to the sales there, and I even lost out $50,000 as well because he never paid us the bloody. Anyways, so then came mid 2023. This was where you guys came in, the birth of the Closers University, and I'll leave this at this slide because I'm not going to bore you with everything and all that as well. And this is the dark side of this industry, man. You get to work with people that are not true to their words. They'll tell you one thing and they'll do another. And some people, because it's the online space, man, money is everything for them. But not for me, man. I'm a Muslim before anything, and I know I have to answer to Allah. What goes around comes around. And I just can't work for something that's just a lie. It's just to make money. Like there's more than money, man. And that's what I want to let all of you guys know as well. Don't like there's like you guys are gonna learn a lot of things from me because I made mistakes, man. I work with business owners that and it could happen to anyone, but I've worked with business owners that we found out later that they were lying to us. They were making everything up. This is the high ticket sales space, man. This is what you need to be woke of as well and learn from mistakes like from people like me and others as well. So here, 2023, man, came the birth of the Closers University, which, like, alhamdulillah, imagine I never started the Closers University. You guys wouldn't be here. The thousands of people that have come through, the hundreds of people that have made hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, wouldn't have been here, would not have been here. So that's why, man, like whenever you have dreams, when you have goals, just go with it, man. Go for it. You never know whose life you can change. I was constantly being told to launch my own offer, which I've always been reluctant to, but came late 2023 because that bloody hero, the idiot, last business owner owed me $50,000 in 2023. I had no money at the time. And for me, man, I just spend my money, man. Most of my money goes to charity, man. 90% of my money goes to other people. I don't believe in keeping money. But anyways, 2023, I was left with no choice as the previous client didn't pay me, and I then decided to open up some one-on-one coaching spots. What a decision to make, man. Some of you guys are on this live call over here right now, in the comments that were part of my one-on-one coaching. I didn't know even myself how much people really needed personal coaching. And off I went with the paid coaching program. We crossed six figures in no time. But more importantly, people began to see results in their income and started making huge breakthroughs. It was one of the best feelings ever, but my income suffered a lot as there was only so many people I could work with one on one, and I wasn't charging even a fraction of what others charged. Nonetheless, man, because I was making way more money closing and managing offers and sales teams. The coaching was costing me because there was only so much of one on one that I could do, and that's why I don't do my one on ones anymore right now, anyway, because it's just it takes too much of my time. I'd rather work with like a small group on a Zoom call and work with all of you guys and give you one on one time on a small group call. And that's why I do these lives as well. Just so you know, these lives are there's gonna be like three, four parts to this masterclass where I'm gonna break down everything. Nonetheless, coaching people brought me so much joy. It meant way more to me than money. And that's why I'm here right now. That's why I'm here right now. And I'm gonna stop sharing now, and well, for that anyway. And I wanted to tell you that 100K deal. Some of you guys were asking about it. The 100K deal, man. How did I close that 100K deal? We had just launched the offer, but I was in Pakistan. I couldn't take sales calls, so I was like, oh man, I'm missing out on this. And then what did I do? I couldn't take sales calls, but I could send messages. But this is what, man. Some of you guys, they don't do this. You look for excuses. Don't look at excuses. Look for opportunities. Look for the possibilities. Don't make excuses. Look at solutions. I started following up with every single person that I'd been on a call with. And I was telling them about the new program, new program, new program, new program. It's 100K. It gives you this, it gives you that, it gives you that. Nobody was getting back to me, but I kept messaging. In Pakistan, I closed someone on $100,000 package, and I made at the time $15,000. I was getting 15% at Rudy Mauer. I made $15,000 from a follow up message. Imagine that. A follow up message, I made $15,000. And for me, it was one of my biggest achievements. But look, guys, we've been through a lot. I just want to cover a couple of more things because some of you guys want to see like the resumes that I was using and what they look like, etc. So I'll just share my screen and I'll show you guys the actual resume that I used to land my role. This is the literally take a screenshot of it as well and like copy it, make it your own, start from your own journey. And I get like a lot of people, when especially when I was doing my one-on-ones, I'd ask them like, "Oh, how much experience have you got in sales?" And they'd be like, "Oh, I don't have no experience." Is if someone said, "Is closing still good in 2026?" Let me tell you, if closing is not good, closing is great in 2026. Umar Babar 2500, my brother. Just make sure you're subscribed to the Closers University, bro. And all of you guys on the live call, make sure you're subscribed to the Closers University, and you'll see closing is not good in 2026. It is great in 2026. And you're going to see from following from this masterclass, I'm going to air this live 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 12 months from now. Inshallah, I'm going to show you live the guys that I've taken from this masterclass and how I've helped them make tens of thousands of dollars a month. So here is this is literally the document that I used as a resume. I was like, forget having a resume, man. Why do I know? Like everybody else got a resume. Let me use this. Let me be different to other people. So what did I do? I've done like I don't even know what you call it, but like a timeline of like all my sales experiences and anything related to sales or any update of what I was up to at that age, and I shared it on this document. Because remember, when people are asking for your resume, they're just looking to one, get to know you, two, get to know if you can actually do the job, if you have the skills and experiences and qualities required in the role. So I use these two documents. This is the first one, and I'll show you the second one, and then we'll answer some questions, and then we'll wrap up. So this was the first one that I used, and this is what the business owners, the managers, the recruiters loved seeing. I don't care if some of your recruiters will be like, ah, this is all BS and whatever or whatnot. This is what worked for me. Now look, there's not only one way to, I don't know, you know how to say, there's not only one way to eat your cream egg. You can eat it however you want. There's not only one way to, eat eggs. You can eat them however you want. Everyone has their own way of eating things and doing things. I have my own. Take it or leave it. But I'm telling you, man, I promise you, you just follow even 20% of what I'm teaching you. You'll make the most money you've ever made. So what did I start with at the beginning? And this is what I do to people on live sales calls. I mean, live training calls as well. The one-on-one calls. I ask them how much years of experience you got in sales. Oh, I don't know. I don't have much and whatever. And then this is why it's so important, guys, to have a mentor, because your mentor, your coach, your teacher can see beyond what you can see. Why do you think boxers have coaches? Because they can see what you can't see. They can fix your mistakes. So this, and like, I've done this with so many people. Some of you guys are on this call over here right now that I've done it with, and you realize that, oh my God, I have 15, 20 years of experience in sales, and I didn't even know. I've been selling since the age of 10. I didn't even know, because I make you remember and realize. Age 11, started selling sweets and snacks in the school playgrounds and classrooms. Maybe some of you guys have done that. I'm not going to go through everything, but look at what I go through. Age 14, selling mobiles, serving customers at pizza shop. Age 15, 16 was my first sales job. 8 years. Age 16, summer holidays, starting selling door to door. So I'm going through my sales journey. Look at the top title. It's in red. I'm going through my sales journey. But then look right at the bottom. I show them my reason why. Mission retired dad, banking six figures in 2021. You guys can see this was what I created then. But then I had a second document who gave them an insight into who I was. These were just small bullet points banging home on who I was. Guys, you guys can just copy this. Look, 20 plus years in sales, BA and postgraduate in psychology, so they know I can understand people. I love making a difference and money. Traveled and worked around the world, sold a variety of products and services, sold one-to-one and to many. Look at all the questions of potential recruiters, managers, hiring managers that I'm answering. Look at all these qualities that this individual has got. He's sold on a first call visit basis. He's self-motivated and he's organized. He's student of the sales industry. He loves personal development, embraces criticism and feedback. He loves working and helping with people. And his reason why is his parents. Guys, these are just some qualities you guys need to embed within yourself. Look, and look, the next few sessions are going to be on certain other aspects and certain other skills that you need. I'm going to go through live sales calls with you as well. I'm going to show you, this is how I showed you how I got their attention. What I want you to do is make sure you subscribe to the Close University YouTube channel. Have a look at my intro video that I've posted on YouTube. Copy and model that as your own intro video. Be smart with it as well. Be short, sweet, and concise with that. Look at these pieces of documents that I've just shared with you. Emulate and model them for yours. Then I'm going to show you how to land a role, how to go and apply, where to go. Then not only that, I'm going to break down on, like, once you've got their attention, how do you keep their attention? How do you do well in the interview? How do you do well in the role? What are the actions that you need to do? And then also all what's required to win at the role. Because let me tell you guys, man, landing a role is not hard. There's thousands of, are you telling me the reason why you guys haven't landed a role or you haven't earned the money that you want to make, do you know why it is? It's one of the number one reasons why most people are failing right now. They don't have the skills required. They don't watch masterclasses like this. They don't watch these coaching sessions. They don't action these coaching steps, these materials. And this is why they don't unlock that skill within themselves to do well in the roles. It's not hard landing a role. What's hard is being good on the role. And this is where, guys, it's these trainings is where you're making the money. I promise you, you go and collect it in the roles. This is where the money is made. This is where the money is made. And those of you that are watching this and are still watching this right now, watch this masterclass again. Leave your detailed takeaways. I'm going to be picking out people from this, and I'm going to have a live call with you guys, and we're going to have some live breakout sessions. We're gonna have some master classes. I'm gonna basically dial everything in with you. Maybe unlock the one thing that's you're struggling with. I'm gonna go through all of that with you as well. I'm gonna go through, reviewing the sales calls, how to be good on offers, everything you name it. I'm going to be breaking everything on these masterclass. But on that note, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you on the next masterclass. If you haven't, please drop a like, share it. If you found this masterclass valuable, share it with someone. You'll probably change their life.